to change it. Rip Ozzy Osbourne? Trisha Paytas got to you. I'm sorry. Trisha, you got the wrong man. You got the wrong man. You need to hit the White House. That's what you need to do, Trisha. But you know what, Trisha? Trisha's power only does so much. Trisha Paytas, everybody. Trisha Paytas. And Aquaman. Congrats, Trish. Aquaman. A lot of people were judging that name, but honestly, let her do what she wants. Like, I feel like it's fine. People are going to probably call him Aqua. It's like, come on, Cheetah Girls. You know what I mean? Anyway, hi guys, it's Dustin, and welcome back to the Park Your Butt podcast. Thank you so much for parking your butt with me. I am back with a sock and a dream. All right. And today we are going to be talking about a Park Your Butt staple. Something that I know you guys love me to talk about. And that's love. Love, 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 love. Long as we got. How's that SZA and Nicki Minaj beef going? Is that fine? Like, what's happening there? I haven't really got the updates on that. I don't really keep up with a lot of internet stuff anymore, honestly. I'm really in my own world when it comes to the internet. Unless, actually, I do learn all of my pop culture stuff from the Just Trish podcast. Like, I do not keep up with internet stuff. Like, unless it's, like, huge, like the Coldplay affair thing. Like, that one was freaking big, like, worldwide. I think that actually brought the world together. Like, I think for the few seconds there, it brought a little bit of world peace, which was crazy. But other than that, I don't really keep up with pop culture that much, unless it's something I really care about, and usually those are just niche things that, like, aren't that big in pop culture. I actually am doing a YouTube video, another installment of my love confessions, which, if you do not know, I do have a YouTube channel, which I feel like I always just assume everyone who listens to this podcast watches my YouTube channel. Let me know if you guys don't, though. Like, if you guys just found me through this podcast, let me know. I would love to know. I think that is so interesting. But I just automatically assume everyone who listens to my podcast knows me from YouTube. So, yeah, I'm doing another video of that where basically I'm experiencing my first relationship. Here's the backstory. Here's the background if y'all don't know. I have been single all my life, and I've been documenting my experiences with love all my life. On YouTube, I've talked about a lot of things, from dating apps to feeling lonely to dates I've gone on. I've literally documented the pre-thoughts before going on my first date ever when I was like 18 years old. Yeah, so I've documented a lot, and now all of that, though, was like when I was single. Like, yeah, I was able to make love content when I was single. I don't know. I can talk. I mean, y'all know from listening to podcasts, I can just talk like that, I guess. I can just discuss anything. So now that I'm in a relationship, I do these little confessions videos, and I don't know, I love to document, and love is something I especially love to document. So I just want to be able to speak my thoughts, and I'm doing a YouTube video about that, and I thought I would just do a podcast about it as well, because it's easy. Sometimes I feel like some people who listen to my podcast don't watch my YouTube videos, so if I repeat points, it's fine. And if you guys watch both, y'all are real ones, and this is going to be more of a drawn-out version of that. If you want just the Spark Notes, go watch my YouTube video. I don't know if it's out by the time this video goes up, but if it is, bada bing, bada boom, y'all know what to do. So, yeah, this is another little love. We're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about love and my relationship and the things I've learned, things I've experienced, and blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. I also have some points that I will talk about on Patreon, specifically about this topic, because there's some things that I'm like, oh, okay, I think this should go on Patreon. If you want to hear about how I matched with my romantic partner's roommate on the dating apps before we started dating, yeah, if you want to hear about that, or if you want to hear about how I dodged that bullet, actually, and long distance, I'm going to talk about long distance on Patreon, and I'm also going to talk about a dream I had. So if that interests you at all, go on to Patreon. Which Patreon plug? So I have a Patreon. If you like to show extra support, if you want extra content every single week, I do an extended 30 minutes. I keep the cameras rolling and I just talk for 30 extra minutes. If you want more of this podcast, which is actually a pretty good deal because sometimes these podcasts be close to 30 minutes only because some days I just don't have much to say. So basically, you're just getting a whole second podcast episode if you want to go over there. Also, we have bonus content, okay? We got, first of all, before I even had this podcast, I had a Patreon and was posting content on there. So you have that content. I have like more raunchy story times, things that I don't feel comfortable sharing to the public world. So there's some tea. There's some tea on there. There's some crazy story times. For example, I told a story about how I almost got pissed on at a hostel. Or, I think I talked about. I don't know if I can. Something happened to me in Nice, France, in the streets of Nice, France, and it was a little. I don't even know if I can get into that. That's why we have the Patreon. That's why we have the Patreon. And overall, I just get to like be more real in there. And we're like this. We're a gang on there. We're like this. If you guys are audio listeners, I'm like crossing my fingers. We are like this on Patreon. We are family. I haven't heard that song in so long. Man, maybe because I haven't gone to an elementary school event in a while. Like, you know, I feel like elementary school events is where that song plays. Or like maybe it played at like my elementary school graduation too. I remember for my elementary school graduation, we had like a luau vibe. Yeah. Is that even like, I don't even know if that's allowed anymore. I feel like, I live in a white town. They probably are still doing that shit. Along with the bonus content, which by the way, this week I actually posted a Q&A with my significant other. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I got so many more like patrons from that. Y'all nosy, and honestly, can't even blame you because I am too. We're exactly the same. I just have a bunch of random bonus videos on there, so like just go check it out. You can go see. Y'all go look by yourself. Y'all can figure that out. What else do I? Oh, also at the end of the podcast, you can get your name listed in the after credits because y'all deserve your credit for making this podcast possible and happen. So yeah, that's enough for the Patreon plug. So it's officially been 6 months in my relationship and things are going really well. And it's really crazy to think that it's almost been 6 months already because, well, we're going on to 6 months. It hasn't been 6 months yet, but close. It's crazy because like when I was filming this podcast, I was single when I started. And then I have those episodes where it's like, I haven't dated anybody. And then like the next episode is like, I'm dating somebody. And it's crazy because my patrons have actually been there, not to bring it back to Patreon, but my patrons have been there since like the beginning because I remember talking about, guys, I'm like talking to someone right now on my Patreon. So it's crazy seeing the growth of that and like the involvement and you being able to like, it's been documented, which is crazy. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could document it more. I'm thinking, I feel like I'm probably gonna hard launch soon. I'm scared though. I'm really scared, but I kind of want to just because I feel like I feel restricted in documenting my time with the person I'm dating because I'm like, I can't upload it anyway. But I'm such a person who wants to document everything and like, because these are memories I'm gonna want to look back on. So I might do it soon. It might be coming up. It's coming up on 6 months. I'm thinking like that's a good spot to like, I'm like, that's pretty solid. Like 6 months is pretty solid. I don't know. Is that too early? You guys let me know. Personally, I think it's been 6 months now. You guys can like see what they look like and in my opinion, they're pretty cute. So I'm not like embarrassed or anything. I feel like I'm excited for you guys to see. But I don't know. Yeah, I think you guys understand why it's like kind of scary. Just because everything's going so well that I don't want the online perception to like judge it and make it a thing that's not good. But at the end of the day, I also don't really care about what people say on the internet, good or bad. I've just never really been affected by it. But another thing is I feel like my partner might get affected by it, right? And I like don't, while I can deal with the internet and I've grown up on the internet and I'm like, I don't give two Fs, I know the person I'm dating might be a little bit sensitive to that. So I don't know. But That being said, there might be a hard launch coming soon. I don't know. We'll see. I've actually have documented every time we hang out, I do still vlog. And I'm like kind of compiling it into this gigantic vlog. And maybe I'm going to call it like Hard Launch the Movie and post it on my YouTube channel or something. But I was editing that this past week. Well, yesterday I edited that because I was having a little bit of like a day off. And I'll get into that later on in the weekly check-in. But I was crashing out this week, genuinely, and I feel like for a while there, I haven't edited for pleasure in a long time. So it was really nice to be able to edit for fun for once. Like I was like, you know what, Dustin, like you want to edit this video? You're excited to edit this video on your day off? Let's do this. And then I edited for like an hour and then I just stopped. And it was like because usually I don't stop. I'm like, Dustin, keep going. You have to do this. You have to finish this video. You have to upload it. And then it was like really like, whoa, like I haven't edited for enjoyment in like 5 years. So that's kind of crazy. Back to the relationship and the confessions. So here's some milestones that's been going on. So we're almost 6 months. Things are going really well. They've met my friends. The past since I last updated you guys, they have now met my friends. And I've met basically all their friends as well. And that was a really good experience. They've actually met a lot of my friends. Even this past month, they met a few new of my friends. Like they know basically all my friends. Yeah, they met all my friends and it went really well. And honestly, I feel like that's a big nerve-wracking thing to people because if your friends do not like the person you're dating, that says a lot about the person you're dating. Because sometimes when you're dating someone, you can have rose-colored glasses, cue, Paramore, rose-colored boy. I think that's the song that's called. You have to get the approval of your friends from the person. Because, like, yes, you can have your judgments, and I guess that's, like, the most important thing. But if all your friends don't like the person you're dating, like, I hate to break it to you, something's wrong with the person you're dating. Because if your friends that you love and they're, like, your good friends and they're in your life and they know you so well, they're able to perceive the person you're dating without any bias. So I think that's a really important thing is to let your friends meet the person you're dating. Because if they like them, then boom, perfect. Like I kind of expected it though, because like I have really good judgment of people, and I find it that I'm not biased very often. So I kind of knew going in, I wasn't nervous at all. I was like, yeah, like my friends are gonna love the person I'm dating. Because I'm not going to date someone who's trash, you know what I mean? So they loved him, and it all worked out, and I'm really happy about that, and it's really reassuring as well. It's like, yes, like... And it also kind of felt surreal having my friends, like, meet the person I'm dating, because it made it all real. It's like, wow, guys, isn't it crazy I'm dating someone, and they're right here with us right now? When all my entire life and our entire friendship, I've just been single. Isn't this crazy? Like, guys, look. Like, isn't that crazy? That's how I feel like when I talk about when you guys finally get to meet them. I'm gonna be like, guys, look. Like, guys, look. Well, my patrons already got to meet them, but like, look. It's crazy because you guys have also been there. Basically, they got along with all my friends so well, and they all had like good conversation. I was just really, really happy about it. Like, I knew it was going to work out that way, but I was just really happy to get that confirmation. I've also met their friends, which, to be fair, I met their friends right in the very beginning of not even when we were dating, like literally when we first met, I met some of their friends already. So since then though, I've got to spend way more time with their friends. And that also went well as well, I would say. So overall, we hit that milestone of meeting each other's friends. It's great. Next, guys, this is a big one. We said the 3 little words, I love you. Yeah, we hit that, guys. We did that. Yeah. And here's the thing. I talked about this on my Patreon last week, I'm pretty sure. But this kind of threw me off because I was not expecting it to come. Because I have this thing in my head. I call it I call it the rule book when getting to a relationship. It's the timeline. It's the formula for a good relationship to assure you're in a healthy, good relationship. Now, is there proof of this? No. Do I have any sources? No. The only thing I have is my observations of other relationships. Okay, do I have any actual scientific proof? No. But in my head, this timeline makes sense. And everyone I've seen who kind of follows this timeline, their relationships end up lasting a very long time. Versus like, especially in these days where there's a lot of love bombing, people get into relationships really fast. And some people don't get into relationships fast enough. That's the thing. That's another thing. People be freaking in 3-year situationships. Baby, you're dating. If you're in something longer than 3 months, baby, you're dating. Okay? What the fuck's a situationship? Get that? You're 25 years old. What are you talking about situationship? Also, why are you still talking on Snapchat? Anyway. I don't know why people still have Snapchat. I deleted that. I've had Snapchat like on my phone the past few years. Not right now. I've deleted it once I started. Like I deleted it a few months ago. But I never, even like for the past few years, I never really used it. I only used it because I had a group chat on there that I would talk to my friends on there. But then I was like, guys, why don't we just freaking text each other? You know, and so I literally would never Snapchat people. So I finally deleted it. Why am I getting into this? That's not even freaking important. Back to freaking I love you in the timeline. So this is my timeline. This is Dustin's timeline for a healthy, good relationship. If you guys want to learn something, maybe. I think 3 months of talking is the perfect sweet spot. I think 3 months of talking, dating, going on dates, getting to know each other, that is the perfect timeline. And then at 3 months is when you have to decide if you're dating or not. Like, you guys have to make it official. Yes or no? Yes or no? Because I think 1 month, too goddamn early. Like 1 month, let's say 1 month, you hang out once a week, twice a week. That's not enough to be like, okay, we're gonna freaking date. Like, that's way too short. Now, I'll give you some leeway with 2 months. I think 2 months could be good, but I think 2 to 3 months, 3 months max. So that 2 to 3 month mark, that's kind of the perfect sweet spot. And I think anything passing 3 months is too long. And then you got to start questioning, why is it taking so long to decide? Because I feel like 3 months gives you enough time to just be with each other, get to know each other, and also have those silent moments, if that makes sense. So 3 months, and then I think for I love yous personally, I think 6 months. Like I that's kind of what was in my head. I was like, okay, like I think once 6 months comes in, like that's when you can start saying I love you. Like that's how you know. You know, that's how when you know, you know. Yeah. So that was my timeline. And as for like hard launching and like meeting the friends and stuff, I think meeting the friends should happen once. Meeting the friends can happen literally at any time. I think that's fine at any time. I think meeting or like hard launching in my head as like a content creator, I was like maybe a year. But now I think I'm like not following my own timeline because I think I'm gonna do even before a year. I don't know though, but like in my head, if you were to ask me before I started actually dating someone, I would have been like a year if I'll start posting photos and stuff like that. But now I'm like, maybe even early, maybe even 6 months. I don't know. But that's all to say, we didn't say I love you at the 6 month mark. Now, personally, I was gonna follow that timeline. But then at 3 months, the person I'm dating hits me with how early is it to say I love you? And the person I'm dating is so funny like that because I think they get nervous. So they'll like ask me that like stuff like that, which like why even ask that question? You practically just said it right there. But they did the same thing when we got into a relationship. They were like, what did they say? I don't, what did they say? Frick, why am I going blank right now about what they said? I don't know. I just remember when they asked me out, it was also kind of like awkward, quirky vibe like that. So yeah, they say that to me. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, 6 months. But also then I was like, I guess kind of whenever you feel it. Like whenever because obviously I have this timeline, but it's more of like a guide. It's not, your emotions are unpredictable. Love is unpredictable. It's not a scientific formula. So it's more of like a guideline that I like to follow. It's not like law. So I responded and I was like, you know what? I think it's like whenever you feel it. Whenever you feel it, that's fine. And then they said it to me. They were like, I love you. And I said it back. Because here's the thing. I actually was journaling like a few weeks prior to this moment when they said that. And I was literally like, I could pull up my journal. I could pull up the receipts right now, the dates on it. And I could be like, I think I might love them, but I don't know. It's too early. Let's just wait it out. Let's see. I don't know. It's like really early. Maybe I'm just blah, blah. So it's not like it wasn't in my head. It's not like I wasn't thinking those thoughts. So when they said it, I was like, I'm going to just say it back. Now, here's the thing. I felt a little bit guilty because I was like, is it bad that I'm not like truly feeling it? Like, because I guess to a certain extent, I was saying it just to say it because it is just like awkward. Like, I'm not trying to be like a Rory Gilmore vibe. Even though I think it would have been completely fine if I didn't say it and if I didn't feel that. Which none of you guys are gonna get that Rory Gilmore reference if you guys didn't watch Gilmore Girls. But I think it's completely fine to not say I love you if you don't feel it and if you're not ready to say that. Because I think those are really big words, especially for me. I don't say those words very often. I'm not a words of affirmation guy like that. Grew up in an Asian household. Y'all know how it is. So here I am saying it. And I was like, oh, like, do I mean this? And I did, though. I did mean it. And then I discussed it more with them. And I was like, basically, I was like, how do you know you love someone? How did you know? And basically, from the sum up, here's the spark notes. And what I learned, love and I love yous grows. Like, there are levels to I love yous. The first I love you, like, I guess I always just, you see in movies, you see in media, it's like every time there's like a romantic confession of an I love you, it seems so passionate. It seems like they mean it with all their heart, where it's kind of like, I will give you everything. I will drop everything. I love you, like The Notebook. And I personally didn't feel that intense passion. I was like, I love you, but I'm not like, I love you. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope the tone of my voice I think my tone of voice explained it all. I think y'all get it. So I discussed it with them, and I learned there are levels to I love you. The first I love you is just like, from what we discussed and what I thought, I was like, I care about you. I like you a lot. And I want to say this. And I want to say this because I care about you so much and I feel it. And then now, a few months later, I say I love you, and it's so much, it means so much more. It's changed. It's grown, which is something I didn't know I love yous became. No one really talks about that. So now when I say I love you, it feels so genuine. Not to say my first I love you wasn't genuine, but it was a bit awkward for me to say because I just wasn't used to it. I think that's the thing, is like, it literally took like me years to say I love you to some of my best friends I've known for like over a decade. So the first time saying I love you romantically to someone I've only known for, well, we talked longer, like we talked and then we started dating for 3 months. So it was like longer than 3 months, but for practically only 3 months, that's like a very strange feeling, right? It just feels like something I shouldn't do. So now, like, fast forward to when I say I love you now, it's so much more special and sentimental. The first one is as well, but there's something different about it now. It's grown. It's grown a lot. And when I say I love you, it means something way more passionate. It means something way more different. And I think I want to say this because my friend Amber, actually, I remember her boyfriend, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I'm sure she'll think it's fine. Her boyfriend said I love you to her like 3 months in as well, but she didn't love him yet, Now they've almost been dating for 2 years, so now she loves him, obviously. And they worked it out. But she just said I love you just because he said it, and then she started acting really weird, and then they had to have this long talk about it. And it was fine, and like there's nothing wrong with that at all, like not saying I love you back. But like low key, but like what she said, like what we bonded over a little bit, and like what she said was that I just didn't want to like make it awkward. I this is another thing we talked about is like we know in the future we're gonna love the people we're dating so deeply. So it's like, what's the problem with just saying it now? You know, just like to like not have it be awkward and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, that's all to say. Love comes in levels, and if you feel awkward the first time saying I love you, personally, I felt that too. I don't know if it's. I don't want to come here and be like it's normal. Maybe not everyone feels that, but personally, I felt that. And yeah, love is unexpected. You never know. Now, I will say, like, if you're trying to get married after a month of dating, maybe don't do that. Maybe look at the timeline a little bit and don't do that. But also, I'm sure people have gotten married, like, after a month, and they've been together, like, for 50 years, probably. Like, that's probably happened. So, love is unexpected, but I also think, you know, it's like playing out the odds. It's like gambling a little bit. Like, what's the odds? What are the odds? Anyway, that's all to say. I love the person I'm dating. And we say that now. And it's all good. Next up, I learned I am really lazy in a relationship. Not that I don't put effort into my relationship, but that I physically feel like so lazy and tired every time I'm around the person I'm dating. Like, and that's actually there's a reason behind that. When you like someone and you like someone a lot and you feel comfortable around someone, you feel sleepy. And if you Google it, there's like reasoning behind that. Oxytocin released, your walls are down, like it makes you more tired. So every time I'm hanging around my significant other, we're just like laying around. We're so lazy. All we want to do is just like lay in bed, like wrapped up in the sheets. Like, you know, it's kind of like that's how we always feel. And I'm like the type of person who like usually is really productive. So that's been really strange to experience. And that's kind of a thing I noticed in the very beginning of the relationship as well. I was telling my friends, I'm like, do y'all get anything done in your relationships? Because god damn, I'm not doing anything. And another thing, this is so cringy, I have a freaking baby voice. Like naturally when honestly, I think it's actually slipped out a little bit when we're around people, but I try not to. But when we're just like one-on-one, we talk in baby voices as if we're talking to like a little puppy. Like, oh, no, like it's so cringy. And I never thought I'd be one of those people. But here I am, and God forbid it slips out. God forbid, I don't even believe in God like that, but like, you know, it slips out. Like it slipped out a few times, and I was like, oh, let me reel it back, because what am I doing? I am a grown man. Why am I doing a baby voice? And it makes me cringe because it's kind of like, why do we do this? It's so, I don't know. It just, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but like, it's like, I can't believe I developed that. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so cringy. You know? Anyway. Why do we run to the ones we do? I don't belong to anyone. Ooh. Next up, being the number one prioritized person versus the friends that have been there. I've discussed this a lot in the past on my YouTube channel, but I have always prioritized platonic love, and I personally believe platonic love and romantic love are equally as valuable and should be prioritized the same way. And like, I truly believe you can survive life, first of all, alone. You can be alone. But also with platonic friendships. Like, I feel like I would be so fulfilled if I just grew old with my group of friends and we all just like loved each other equally and like showed each other as much attention as we would a romantic partner. Like, I believe that so much. And I don't believe in throwing away platonic love for romantic. That's a thing that happens all the time. That's literally happening to me right now and has happened to me a ton of times in the past where my friends will get into relationships and then suddenly I'm just not as important anymore. You know, like some of my closest friends, like they just won't spend as much time with me anymore. They won't make plans with me anymore. They'll ditch me for their partner. Like, that happens a lot, and I think that is so stupid. Like, I hate when people do this. I think, yes, it does make you a bad person. Like, someone who's been there for like for years, way longer than this new person that just came into your life, and you're going to prioritize them and like over your friend that's been there and supported you and loved you for way longer than that without any incentive, just the fact that you guys are friends and you love each other, versus a romantic relationship where I feel like, the physical aspects do play a part in the importance of a romantic relationship. I don't know. I just don't believe in that. And I personally would never do that. And if I do that, I hope my friends freaking clock me. I would never throw away my platonic friend, my friends for romantic love. I believe in keeping the priorities equal. Like giving 50-50 to your romantic partner and your friends, which is also still a lot to your partner because that's only one person versus your multiple friends. I don't know. I just think in our society, we put so much importance in a romantic relationship, but we just put our platonic friendships on the back burner, and it's kind of like, why though? Because they provide so much in your life. I don't know. I think it's mostly because a romantic partner is kind of like there is obligations in that when you go into a romantic partner. So you expect that when going into a relationship. It's almost like it's a pre-written contract. When you enter a relationship, you have to care for them more. You have to do this. You have to stick with them. It's kind of like you're bound in that. While friendships, there's no contract. It's kind of like, it's more like willy-nilly. You could do whatever you want, like blah, blah, blah. Friends come and go, whatever. But I think that's such stupidity. Because it's like, friendships don't have to be like that. I will say some friendships are like that, but some romantic relationships are also like that. They come and go. So I think to make friendships feel so less than is dumb. Because you can have friendships that mean a lot, and that have more of an impact than some romantic relationships. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I've said in the past that I'd be content with just my friends, and I still stand by that. Like, if I just had like a really good group. Now, I also think it's really rare. It's like finding a romantic partner. It's very rare to find those group of friends. I'm kind of thinking of the sitcom right now, Friends, and I'm like, wow, they were all like soulmates. That's what I'm talking about. Granted, some of them got married to each other, but they still were all like, together. If you are a friend who ditches your friends for your romantic partner, you got to rethink a little bit. Also, if you're the type of friend that like does that, and then once you guys break up, you come crawling back to your friends, don't expect your friends to be like, hey, open arms. Because you just left them. You just ditched them for something that's quote unquote better. But back to my point, being the number one prioritized person versus friends that have been there. This is my first time ever being someone's number one. And what I mean by that is all my life, I literally wrote a song about this, Stream As Long As You Love Me on Spotify and all other streaming platforms. I've always felt like the other. I've always felt less than. I've never felt important to my friends. Like, I've never been someone's number one best friend. I'm talking like you're in a room, in a classroom, let's say in school. Everyone's like, partner up. And then having someone that like looks at you right away, and then you guys partner up. I've never it was never like that for me. Like, I never really had that. I feel like all my best friends, all my friend groups, they always had other friend groups, they had other best friends, and I was just like one of them. And I also think about this a lot about my people who I consider my best friends. They would be my what are they called? Maid of honors? What are they called? What are the guys called? What are the best man? They would be my best man, but I would not be theirs. And I think that says a lot. I think that's like the perfect example. So that's kind of been my life the entire life. And I've always felt extremely lonely. I've always felt like I never had anybody like for me, like someone for me. And I think that's also another reason why a lot of people like prioritize romantic relationships, is because that's kind of like the only way, that's like the easiest way to get someone to prioritize you, is if you're dating them, And I felt like that my entire life. And now that I hate the fact that this happened, but I'm also really like, it's really nice and comforting to finally be someone's number one. But I also wish like I just had friendships that I could be number ones and, But this is my first time ever truly experiencing like feeling prioritized, feeling important to somebody, feeling like someone's number one and feeling like someone really cares for me in that way and that they're not thinking about other people. They're just like focused more on me. And it feels so odd. It feels nice and comforting, but it's so odd. It's so dystopian because I'm not used to it, right? It's very foreign. And obviously being in a romantic relationship now, I'm now like prioritized. For example, this is how I even came up with this thought was I went to my significant other's graduation and their friends were there. And there were like moments like this doesn't happen to me at events. Usually at events, I feel like I'm never like thought about at events, so I kind of just like show up and like just try to vibe and have a good time. But I never feel like an important person at an event. Even when I was in LA and I would go to events with like my friends or I'd get invited by a friend as a plus one and we go as a group of friends, like I've never felt important in that way. And graduation, the graduation. So some of their friends were there, right? Friends that I like, they've known way longer. Like they've known the person I'm dating way longer than me. So we were at the graduation and already I kind of feel like, oh, isn't it kind of strange that I've only known this person for a few months and I'm at their graduation with their best friends that they've known for years? Like, is this odd? Is this weird? I would notice another thing of like, their friends would text them at the graduation ceremony and the person I'm dating wouldn't respond to them, but like they weren't reading their text or something. And I would text them then, and then they would respond to me. That's like one example, which is something I never really felt before. I was like, oh, wow, they're responding very promptly to me. That's interesting. Or another thing is like right after the ceremony ends, right? They text me. They're like, where are you? Like, where are you at? Like, I want you to meet some people. Like, where are you? And I was the first person they texted, and I was the first person they were looking for. And that's also really strange because I'm like, wait, your friends of years are right here too. If you do you understand the dynamic? Like, it's just such an odd feeling because it's kind of like, but these are your friends of years. Shouldn't they be more, like, technically, they should be more important than me. So I kind of feel like I don't deserve this. It's kind of like, is it just, like, it's because we're dating and I understand that and, like, we mean a lot to each other. But your friends mean a lot to you too. And I think the fact that just because I'm the romantic partner doesn't put me above the friends, if that makes sense. And I've discussed this with them, and they were like, it's just different. Like, they love everybody, obviously, equally, but they said it was different. And that's just a really strange concept to me. And for me, they are also really prioritized and a number one to me. But I feel like I do find a really good balance. Like, I prioritize my friends and my romantic partner very equally. And I think it's very doable because we are long distance. So the short amount of time we do spend with each other, obviously they do get all my attention. But then once they're gone, it's back attention on my friends. So I feel like my friends still feel equally as loved. But that was just like a very interesting experience, just being prioritized for once and being someone's number one, but also feeling like I don't deserve it. Not that I don't deserve it, but like, in the hierarchy of importance, I'm like, why am I even up here? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Does that make sense? Guys, we need to bring back love letters. I wrote my first love letter and mailed it to my romantic partner for 6 months. They haven't opened it yet because it's not officially 6 months yet. So I'm like, open it when it's 6 months. But I did the whole thing. I wrote out a draft. I, hand wrote it obviously on nice paper. I put it in this like envelope that I like dyed with tea to make it look old. I put like a wax seal sticker on it, like very cute. And it was so fulfilling. First of all, I love writing. I think you guys know this. I love songwriting. I love writing, which is very odd because I think English was my weakest subject in school. Not that I got a B in it, like I got like low A's on it, but like I found it to be really difficult for me to write well in school. I think it's just because I wasn't really tapped into it that much. Like I didn't enjoy writing at that time in high school. So yeah, I wrote my first love letter, and we need to bring that back. Bring that back, guys. Write love letters because there's something so special about a handwritten note, and I keep everything. Like if you've written something handwritten to me, I've probably kept it. Like all my birthday cards, any like cute little letters, sweet messages. Write love letters, and I think I'm gonna start writing more after this first one. Maybe like even short little poems and excerpts and stuff like that. From the very beginning, the person I'm dating actually has written me poems and given me poems. So that's always been so romantic and sweet. And I don't know, as a person who really loves just like physical media, it's so special. So write love letters. And also, let's talk about the art of a soft launch. This is my last point. I have been soft launching, and I think I've been doing like a pretty good job at soft launching. I've been posting more and more. I still haven't shared the face of the person I'm dating, and that's for like just privacy right now. But I posted the soft launch on my Instagram that I think is really cute, and it was like I do these like collages. It started out as like a fridge collage, so basically I was trying to be creative, and I think it's pretty creative, if I do say so myself. Where I collected like a bunch of scrap papers and images and Polaroids and stuff. I put it on my fridge with cute magnets that I bought from like local LA artists. And yeah, I made a collage, and basically it was like recapping my life through a collage on my fridge. Because I feel like that says a lot. Like things you put on your fridge can really encapsulate what your life has been like. So it's like concert tickets, movie tickets, stuff like that. And it's like things I've been doing. So I've been doing that. And now it's like I kind of do that on Instagram regularly, but I don't have a fridge anymore, like a white fridge. So I kind of just use like fabrics and stuff like that. And I did that. And I put in some photo booth strips film because they're like my favorite thing. And it's like a thing I like dragging my partner to go do is take photo booth pictures just because I don't know. I just think it'd be really cute if we just have a lot of them, and then in the future we can look back on it when we're old and we're like, "Wow, look at us in these photos!" Like so cute, right? So I like did that, and I scribbled out. I thought it was cute. I like did like little hand doodles and scribbled out, not actually on the photos, but like on my iPad of the photos, and I thought it was a really cute soft launch. And one of my friends was like, "Why'd you scribble out their face?" And I'm like, "'Cause it's a soft launch. It's soft launching." And she was like, "You didn't have to scroll out their face though. Like that's still a soft launch." And I was like, "No, that's not a soft launch, silly. That's a hard launch." Now, and then that's when I was like, I think some people don't know what a soft launch versus hard launch is. So let me define. A soft launch, I personally think, is very subtle things. And you cannot see their face. Like I think that's what a soft launch is when you don't know who they are, you don't know what they look like you haven't seen their face. It's just little things like a picture of them hand holding or like cute little things like that. On my main YouTube video, I'm actually going through Pinterest and like finding some soft launch ideas and ranking them and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, go over to that video. But that's what a soft launch is. A hard launch is like I'm dating this person, like, look, we're kissing. Oh, look, you could see their face. You know who they are. I think that's what a hard launch is. So if you guys didn't know what a soft launch versus hard launch was, that's it. At least to me. And I think that's true. I think that's like a worldwide thing. Okay. So soft launch. So I've been doing some soft launches. Like I said in a previous episode of the love thing, I did like a little TikTok to spring into summer. What other soft launches I've been doing? I've definitely done like the hand holding thing. I've done like, the back of them. I want to get a little bit more creative with it. Soft launching is truly an art. It's such an art because some people get hella creative. I actually like screenshotted some. Like some were doing like some creative reflections in the water. Like some people, were like doing flowers or like things that cover the face. Like I think it is such like a interesting prompt almost. It's a really, if you relationship aside, if you look at it more through like just a photographer challenge, like it is a very creative way to go about media and like taking photos. Like how can I creatively make this photo have the nuance of like we're dating, like you can context clues, we're dating, like it's romantic, like while still being subtle because it's a soft launch. And also like you have to like hide the face and cover the face. Like those are such challenges that help you like kind of like run the gears of your creativity. I don't know if I'm like looking too much into it, but I think soft launching is such a fun activity that can be such a creative outlet. I don't know, I just really love it. Like when I made that like little soft launch collage, I was like, this is fun. This is really fun. And I think soft launching is underrated. And I feel like a lot of people get really creative with it. And I've seen really creative ones. And I think it's really, really fun. And soft launching, y'all do it, guys. I know a lot of people just hard launch right away, but I think there's something so fun and like exciting about a soft launch. It's like, ooh, who is that? Like, oh, who is that? And it like it's I don't know. Personally, when I see people soft launch, I'm like, ooh, like what is this? Like it's so fun. It's so fun and it's harmless too. Love it. Anyway. All right, guys, there's not going to be a weekly check-in this week. I apologize. I talked way too long in this podcast, so we got to wrap it up. So we are going to move on to Getting Deep in the Passenger Seat. Weekly check-in will be on Patreon. Getting Deep in the Passenger Seat. This is a segment where I answer your guys' questions. Feel free to leave me a question in the comments, or if you're a patron, ask me on Patreon. I prioritize my patrons. So, first question. What's your comfort TV show? This is from Jocelyn. Oh, both of these are from Patreon, by the way. What's your comfort TV show? From Jocelyn. I love Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls was like my comfort show for a while there. Lately, I think Superstore has been another comfort show for me. I love watching that. Steven Universe and just like any cartoon animation is a big comfort for me. I'm thinking about starting Rick and Morty. I've never seen Rick and Morty, but I saw someone wearing a shirt of it yesterday and I was like, maybe I should watch it. Probably. I don't know. What's another comfort show? New Girl was a big comfort show. A lot of sitcoms. I like to keep it light. Like usually I don't watch a lot of like drama shows, so sitcoms are like a huge comfort to me. And that's why I've never done like a my favorite TV shows YouTube video, because honestly all of them are just sitcoms. So, and they're not like even like low-key underrated sitcoms. They're like really popular sitcoms that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do my favorite TV shows YouTube video because that would just be boring and I feel like no one would find new recs. Do you ever feel like you're mourning a version of yourself from the past, like you're nostalgic for who you used to be? This is from Simone. I sometimes feel this. Overall, as you guys know, I'm a very nostalgic person in general. Now, I don't think I'm ever like mourning, like I don't want to become who I used to be because I feel like I've just grown so much where I don't want to revert back to who I was. That's actually the exact opposite of what I want. I don't want to revert back to who I was. But I am nostalgic sometimes for like my lifestyles back then or like my achievements back then. Lately, I've been feeling like I'm reverting in my career and success, and like I felt like I was way more successful when I was 18 years old, which has like been a trip, and I've crashed out about it this week. So those are things I've been very like mourning, but also things I mourn is like, I guess I do mourn the innocence I had and the newness of everything. I feel like when I was in high school, there's just such a, like if you're in high school right now, really cherish that, because I just feel like even though like it doesn't really matter after, like there's so much more life to live, there's something really special about high school and like that version of me. I don't know, I do more in that, where just having that life of like driving to school, having my friends hang out with me before we go in my car, and like mourning those little lifestyle things. I do mourn a lot. And also sometimes I mourn like just like the drive I had and the creativity I had at those times. Not that I don't have it now, but you know, sometimes you just get nostalgic over those things. And I think if you're being nostalgic for who you used to be, you got to ask yourself why. Like, do you not like yourself right now? Is there something wrong with you right now that you don't like and that you admire about your past self? Because you can always incorporate that back into your life now. If you want to practice something, you want to pick up a certain thing you used to do, you know, like I feel like that's something. Look at the reasoning, look at the root of why you feel so nostalgic for who you used to be and why you're mourning it. I think also that's just a part of growing up, especially if you're a person who doesn't like change. I'm a person who doesn't mind change, and I actually really like it because I think it freshens up life and makes you more ambitious and have more drive and like pushes you to do new things, which I think is what life's all about. Life is short. Life is short. You don't want to go back to what you already experienced. Like you want to keep going. You want to keep growing, you know? And I also think, your younger self and the past self of you didn't know as much as you know now. You're so smart now. You have so much intelligence now. You've learned, you've grown. So, yeah, I hope that helped. I don't know, but I am very nostalgic sometimes. I am. On Ox this week, I watched the movie Sinners. Finally, I don't watch horror. That's the thing about me. I do not watch horror movies. I don't watch gore. I don't watch blood. I don't like any of that shit. But everyone was raving about Sinners, so I was like, it's finally out on HBO. And one of my friends invited me to a screening of Sinners with her friends. So I was like, okay, let me watch this because there was no way in hell I was going to watch Sinners alone anyway. So I feel like this was the only opportunity I was actually ever going to really watch Sinners. So watched it. And it's going to be on Ox this week just because I did watch it this week. But like, guys, I feel like it was very overhyped. I have a lot of qualms, is I'm the right word for it. Like, I just have a lot of critiques with it. I think it was like a good movie and it had a lot of good moments. And I really like the messages and the metaphors. And like, I feel like they had the ideas, right? But I feel like, one, it went by way too fast. They didn't develop their characters. So when they were dying off, like, you didn't care about them. Like, they didn't give us enough time to care about the characters. And I feel like artistically, they could have, like, I felt like it needed more time and it needed more care, personally. I just feel like this was a movie that I understand, like, I feel like this is like a movie that's a good blockbuster, but I do not think this was like the masterpiece that I thought it was going to be going in, because I've just heard so many people rave about it, where I was like, okay, this is going to probably be really good. But it was just kind of like, oh, it was fine. I don't know. I didn't love it as much as everyone else, I guess. And I can go more into detail with that maybe later on. I don't know. Maybe one of my YouTube videos, because I'm going to start talking about films I watched in my YouTube videos, so maybe I'll talk about it more in that. I also watched Lurker, which is not out yet, I don't think, but it's going to be out on Mubi soon. And that one was like, all right. It's kind of giving Ingrid Goes West, but for boys and gay. So if you're into that, maybe you'll enjoy it. As for music, I have been listening to the new Billy Martin album on repeat. It is such a beautiful album. Very easy listening, just like acoustics, beautiful, like gorgeous. It's a gorgeous album. I've been listening to that. And what else has been on Ox? This is gonna be quick. Fast Love Part 1 by George Michael. Small Talk by Briston Maroney. Sue Me by Audrey Hobart. Bowling Alley by Audrey Hobart. Skin Dijon. All right, that is the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening and parking your butt with me. I hope you enjoyed. Please give this podcast a 5-star rating. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, and comment. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next week. I love you guys, genuinely. And thanks for tuning in all the time. Yeah. Okay. Bye.